Hi everyone, welcome to Polar Bricks. I'm Andy and today we're having a look at 3 Marvel Lego sets. Now you might be sitting there thinking, did I watch this video already? Well no, this is in the way of a revisit or part 2 video. We did have a look at these 3 when they arrived about a month or maybe a bit more ago. And I went through all the pieces, checked the inventories, found out what was missing. There was not very much missing from any of them really, a couple of little spares that I managed to get together, and then I went off to try and order from Bricklink the last few bits. Well, we might also remember at the end of that video, this one, the Outrider Dropship 76101 from Avengers Infinity War. We built that one and it's still here built, so we're not going to have too much of a close look at it, but I'll just refresh your memory. It is this dropship that opens up to reveal some Outriders, and I think there's an Infinity Stone hidden in there as well. It's got a couple of stud shooters. I'm not going to fire those because I don't fancy crawling around to find the studs. Got Captain America here and Black Widow just there. Right, so yeah, if you want to have a closer look at that, you can watch the previous video. I'll put a link in the description below, as it is kind of part 1 for this one. We also found that we pretty much got all the pieces, I think, for this one, which is the Ravager Attack 76079, and that one's from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. If you follow our Instagram, you might have seen that I built that and showed it on the Instagram rather than doing a video for. So it is here. We've got Rocket, Mantis, Taserface in the ship there, the ship, more stud shooters all over the place on these Marvel sets, and even more stud shooters on this cannon piece here, tree, and a piece of wreckage, I think maybe from the Milano. Spoiler alert, when it gets destroyed. So we'll probably have a closer look with the camera at that one later on in the video, so we'll come back to that. So we'll push that one out to the side, move all of that out, and do the same with these. So that leaves us with the big one from that previous video, which is the Milano versus the Abilisk. I hope I've correctly pronounced that. Pronounced that. This is 76081. Again, Guardians Volume 2. Now, if you can recall, the main thing missing on that set was the eyes from the monster. There was an eye on there, but it was wrong, and the other one was completely missing. So I've since got, I'm pushing around on the table, you probably can't even see them, basically 2 1x1 round tiles or dots that have got the correct eye printed on them, just here, trust me, they're there. And so we can now build that, because that means the only thing that's now not right with this is the tiny little Baby Groot character. I don't know if you can put that in there. No, you probably can't see it. That's on the cover there. The one that came with it, there's 2 versions of it printing on there. The one that came with it, it's the wrong one. It's got the red Ravager uniform on, and this one has just got like leaves and twigs printed on, and I'm still looking for that. I will get that at some point, but I figured that doesn't stop us from building the ship today. So I'm gonna go away and build. No time lapse today because I'm building while I'm watching the football. So if you want to make any complaints about the lack of time lapse, do so in the comments. I do like to hear which parts of the video people enjoy watching, anything I can change in the videos that make them more enjoyable, anything like that. Any comments you want to make, leave them down below, and I will take on board any constructive criticism. However, yes, that said, I'm going to go and build and hopefully enjoy the football, and then we'll come back for a closer look at this set and this set. Okay, here's our 2 very swooshable ships. The Milano, all finished building now. Looks very impressive, I think. And the Ravager ship that we saw earlier anyway. We've got our pink monster Abilisk creature here, the tree that we also saw earlier. All of our minifigs down there, so we're going to dive in for a closer look. Starting off our closer look, we've got the minifigs from the Ravager Attack. At the end here we've got Taserface, who is in his Ravager uniform. He's not wanting to stand up, hold on a second. Here we are. He's in his Ravager uniform, he's got a lovely long beard and this awesome mohawk, come mullet, come whatever haircut. Taking the beard off as well, you can see the lovely detailed uniform that he's got there. It goes all the way around. Yeah, that one's a really lovely minifig. Glad to have that one. And then moving on, we've got Mantis, who has this all-in-one piece, if I can pull it off. There we go. Hair piece with the antenna at the top moulded in, and it's this weird rubbery texture, a bit weird from Lego anyway. She has got, having removed that, you can see she's got two alternative face prints, a sort of fairly, not, I wouldn't say happy, but fairly neutral expression, and a much more angry expression there, which if we put that on there, looks quite good, I think. She's got some nice body printing, but no printing on her legs there. Not a lot to say about her, I don't think. So moving on to Rocket, who he's got, as Rocket should have, a massive gun there, which is brick built from a few pieces, including a lightsaber hilt. There is a gun mould under there, and then one of these minifig like neck attachment pieces that make up the sight. Take that out of the way for a minute, and then he's got a more conventional, smaller sidearm there, and then his printing. It's unfortunate that the moulded head for Rocket means you can't move his face, but he's pretty cool anyway, with his tail there at the back, and nice printing on his body. That's the minifigs for this set. Looking at the rest of the Ravager Attack set, we've got to start with this side build with a cannon, which I'll try and fire for you without losing the pieces. Oh, lost that one already. There you go. You just twist this cog and oh, that one stayed on the table. We'll have to go and find those two later. Yeah, and it fires rapidly if you twist it right round. Never find the pieces. We got some fairly normal tree limb pieces here, weed hanging down, and a piece of Milano, I think, from the wreckage there. That's pretty much that one, just looking at the back there, nothing very much to look at. So put that to one side and bring in the main part of the set, which is the ship itself. Here we've got, if you look on top, some quite nice detailing for the engines here, I think, on the wings, and underneath there's a gun hidden at the back for Taserface, just to store, which is rather strangely stored in the back where the engines are. Spinning it round, we've got some stud shooters on the top. I'm not firing those because I'll never find those other ones from earlier. We've got the stud shooters underneath. We've got a cockpit we can open up, and you can see in there just some simple printed sticker controls and room for a figure. Let's put Taserface in his ship. There we are. Sits in there quite nicely. Closing back in, and then yeah, underneath, not really any detail at all. So yeah, pretty simple ship build. Not a lot to it really. Now moving on, we've got our minifigs from the Milano versus Abilisk set. We'll just start off at the front here. I have got Baby Groot, which as you'll remember is not the right printing. I don't know if you can see him there, but he's got the red Ravager uniform on. So I'm still looking for the right print for him, but he's got two little builds, which I'm led to believe this blue one is meant to represent the speaker from the stereo that they've got playing in the opening sequence. And then the other build, I think, represents the batteries that they're trying to steal, because the Abilisk has got one as well, so I think that's what those are. So we'll move him out because he's not actually the right one for the set, and we'll carry on and have a look at Star-Lord. Now, here he is here, he's in his helmet. I really do like that detail, the printing on the face there, the gold mask, and the armour printing on the body all comes together as really nice, and he's obviously got his blasters, which I think are unique to him, which if we take the helmet off, we get the dual printed face where of fire him across the table, dual printed face of smiling Peter Quill and sort of more angry, and you do get hair to put on him, so you don't have to have his face hidden, obviously, otherwise there'd be no point having the two faces printed. On his back he does have his jetpack, which is a binoculars piece, just used on a stud mounted on his back to make a jetpack, which brings us along to Drax, who has got the same jetpack arrangement. Get that covered first, and he's got some lovely printing to represent all of his, I don't know, are they supposed to be tattoos or markings in his skin, carvings in his skin, something like that. Nice arm printing and body printing all matching, and just the one face looking rather angry, probably determined to go and attack Thanos or Ronin. That's him. He's got two pair of daggers there as well. Moving on to Nebula, she's in cuffs because I think she was captured at this point in the film, and yeah, nice face printing. Again, she's always angry, so you know, there you go, reflected in the printing. Body printing there detailing her. Spin around and have a look at the back because it carries all the way around, and it's a nice little representation with the mismatched arms and that representing all of her mismatched parts in the film. And then at the end we've got Gamora there, a couple of swords, nice printing in her hairpiece there, just the purple accents on the end, and I'm guessing she's probably got, yeah, she has dual printing, so you can have her posed angry or just more sort of neutral expression, and again nice printing on the body there for Gamora. So those are our minifigs for this set. Moving on to the main build, we've got the Abilisk here, which is I suppose still part of the side build really. But yeah, it's got a nice set of gears and cogs underneath that allow you to just like move him about like that, which is quite a nice feature. You can open the mouth up and have your Avengers maybe go inside like Drax there, to attack from the inside perhaps, and yeah, closing him up you can see there the eye pieces finally that were missing originally on this one. And then moving on to the main event, we've got the Milano ship, which can just about get in shot there, so yeah, this is a really nice build actually. Lots of detail on the ship and it all comes together really nicely. So just spinning around, starting at the back, we've got the engines at the back there, we've got sort of posable flaps and wings and things all over the place here. Back here we can rearrange them how we want them to be. We've got, what else we've got at the back there, we've got just some basic feet underneath. And then underneath the wings here, actually I haven't got them on a minute, let's just put those on. We've got some bombs that we can drop. So these red pieces here, when we come to the top, there are just sticking out Technic axles, which if I push on one, hold on, there we go, we can drop some bombs. And then on the top as well as that, we've also got some stud shooters. I'm not firing more studs across the room. You've got this bit that sort of flaps about, but I don't think it's meant to be adjustable. I think you just pose it and that gives you the angle of the wings. All comes together looking quite sleek across the front here. And we've got our cockpit, which we can lift up, and you can see there's just about enough room for 4 minifigs in there, which we'll prove in a moment. But first of all, I want to have a quick look at this awesome sticker with the awesome mixtape on it, which I think is a real nice touch, the stereo playing that. Got a couple of more stickers with some controls and scanner readouts and things like that going on in there. So if we take our 4 minifigs and we put Star-Lord front and maybe Gamora to the side. Not actually tried this out yet, so bear with me while I work out where they got to go. Oh, that's not going well at all. Start at the back perhaps. Drax at the back. And then we can put Nebula in on one side. I think this is a bit of a snug fit for 4 of them, but there is the studs there for them to be able to fit. So let's hope that we can work this out. Let's move some arms out of the way. Oh, this is cosy. Those in there. I don't know if that's pushed down properly, and then I think you can just about get Star-Lord at the front. Yeah, more or less got 4 figures in there. It's very snug, but they're in there, so let's close it down. There we go. Yeah, really nice build, lots of detail in there and very swooshable. Right, so now finished building and we've taken a closer look at everything. What do I think to the 3 sets that we've got here from this haul? Well, overall, pretty pleased with what I got for my money. Probably would have been cheaper if I bought them brand new, but there you go, that's where we're at. We've already had a look in the other video at the Dropship. Realistically, for the price of set, size of set that it is, it's a nice little build. It's nothing overly special. It's nice to have, helps set the scene if you're going to get a few of the sets together. And realistically, it's about the minifigs with that Captain America and the Black Widow there. Pretty much that's what that's about. It's a nice little set. Quite pleased to have it alongside all the others. Moving on to the Ravager Attack ship. Yeah, it's pretty basic. I don't really like the ship very much. It's bristling with stud shooters and only room for 1 figure in there. It's, oh, there's a nearly drop it. It's adequate, I think, as a build. It's a bit of fun. I think kids quite enjoy playing with it, I suppose. The side build of the tree and the cannon, a bit pointless. Probably could have made a cheaper set or maybe thrown in another minifig instead of having that. And yeah, moving on to the minifigs. Yeah, it is about the minifigs as a lot of Marvel sets are. Taserface, Mantis and Rocket. Very nice minifigs. Really pleased to have those. Overall, probably okay value, I think, for its original price, which I haven't looked up, so I can't tell you. But yeah, it's nice to have, but nothing overly special. And that does leave me with the Milano, which is really the reason I bought all of these. The other 2 were kind of a bonus. This Milano set is really nice. I'm really glad to have it. It's quite a nice detailed build. It's quite surprised at the number of parts that go into the middle section of this. It's really sturdily built and comes together quite nicely. It's interesting to build. It's enjoyable. It's got some nice play features like the bombs there, which you can drop on the Abilisk. Stud shooters everywhere, not firing them because I can't be bothered to go and find the studs. Nice posable with the moving wing flap pieces and the cabin there where you can get the 4 minifigs like we looked at. Yeah, it's a really good set, good value for money. Even before you look at the side build of the Abilisk. Abilisk is maybe a bit small, but it's good fun. and I can see that there's plenty of playability in that. And again, really nice minifigs from the Marvel set. Drax only in 2 sets, really worth having, quite pricey on his own, so worth buying him in the set if you can find it. Gamora, Star-Lord and Nebula there. Yeah, really nice. Glad to have, I think, all of the Guardians figures from across a few sets, because I've got a couple of other ones with like Yondu in and people like that. So yeah, it helps fill out my Marvel and Guardians collection. Okay, all that remains is for me to say thank you for watching the video. Do hope you've enjoyed what you've seen. If you have, then hit like below. Maybe leave us a comment. Let us know which of these sets is your favourite out of these 3. I'm thinking probably the Milano, but if it's something else, then definitely let us know. Maybe more difficult question for you is which of these minifigs is your favourite? So have a think about that. Let us know. I think if I was going to pick one, I'd go for Star-Lord, because I really like him in the helmet there. But a very close second is Taserface, because I think he just looks mad and really good as a minifig. So there will be more Marvel content coming on the channel very soon, because I've got a few more Marvel sets to build that you haven't seen yet. And I do plan to go and buy some of those new sets for this year from the Infinity Saga, those ones. So I'm really looking forward to picking some of those up and building them and sharing them with you. So if you'd like to see some of that, or any of the other Lego videos that we've got on the channel, because we're trying to feature as much as possible. We've got vintage sets, got 12-volt trains, I think you would have seen last week maybe. We've got ideas sets, all sorts of stuff to build, loads of things that we're planning on featuring on the channel, as well as that cabin that we've now got is going to be full of a Lego city hopefully very soon, with some of the modulars, all of that sort of stuff. So if you want to see all of that, then you need to hit subscribe below and ring the bell. You'll get a notification when we upload. So if you do that, that'd be fantastic. And so all that remains for me to do is say bye for now.